And you can tell from my background, like I did some changes because
Nice.
I'm following those people on YouTube that they are masters of creating uh, high quality videos. And so I created this hopefully nice background. I put the lighting. Um, it's a science to do all these things. My lighting is not the super professional, which is also super expensive. So it's more amateur. But the biggest challenge on the whole thing is that I think we focus too much on the how it looks and not in the content, and I think always the content is what is important.
Yeah.
So nice to see you after 2 weeks. Nice to talk about how to be resilient, because I think it's an element that it's very important both in leadership and in sales.
Well, welcome back, Alex. And yeah, beautiful background. I feel like I need to
Thank
probably up
you.
my game.
I
But
can advise on that how you can make it.
thank you. I
Yeah.
will take, I will come and do a consultation with you to to get a better background. Definitely. But I agree what you're saying. I think, yeah, it's nice to have a nice visual around you, but at the end of the day, I think
Yes.
content is more important. And
Yes.
today, yeah, I thought we could talk about resilience because I think it's something that's much needed both in leadership and sales. And I felt that with everything that happened in the world the last few years, everybody had to learn how to be more resilient. The pandemic didn't give us a choice, and so I think that gave everybody a taste of what how important resilience is, because it's something that is going to help you face any challenges, any setbacks, and any uncertain or and oh, I can't say this word, uncertainty. And it's what allows you to bounce back and get back on the saddle, and and move forward. So I think it's a really, really important quality and skill to have as a leader, in my world, and I'm sure in yours too, Alex. So I don't know. Do you want me to talk a bit about what I think is important on the leadership style, and then maybe you can jump in
Yes,
on
please.
the sales side, because I see it in both sides, but I'm sure
Yes.
you have stuff
I
to.
have some things to say, yes, but yes, start better you, because I think you are more scientific on the topic than I am.
Scientific. Ooh, that must be the glasses. So yes, I think. Sorry, I think in leadership, it's the resilience is going to give you adaptability. It's what's going to allow you to adapt to change, adjust your strategy if things change in the business, whether it's the market or something has happened that you need to your client has asked you for something. If being able to adapt is one of the big skills needed to be resilient, and it helps you also to remain focused. So adaptability is part of your toolkit of the resilience mindset, I would say. And with that comes having emotional intelligence, and that emotional intelligence is about being self-aware, about being empathetic. Wow, today I'm having trouble speaking. Empathetic, and being able to manage your emotions and remain composed and staying in control when things seem that everything's falling apart. You as the leader, the boss, when everybody's running around doing this, you have to be like Zen. You have to, even if inside you're going crazy thinking, oh my God, it's the end of the world, you have to, for your team, for your clients, for the people around you, you have to keep composure, and you have to look like you're in control, even if you're not. And that's very important, because people look to you when things go sideways, or when problems erupt, or when, you know, things might happen in a company and they start making people redundant. You as the leader, your team will look at you and think, oh my God, what's happening? Are we concerned? And those are the moments where you have to be like, guys, everything's okay. I'm taking care of you, and everything's in control. And that will help them feel less stressed and allow them to, continue working, be focused on their job, and move forward in whatever they need to be doing. And that goes back to, leading by example. I know I bring it up a lot, but I think it's really important how you handle stress and failure. You're setting an example for the people working for you, and showing that you can do this constructively is going to help them learn how to deal with these things that pop up every day, or occasionally the big thing that comes and creates total chaos in your day. And for the leader, being able to be adaptable, have this emotional intelligence, lead by example, and have a vision and clarity that you can communicate to your teams, saying, okay, so it's chaos. We're going to figure it out. This is what we're going to do. Manage your own emotions, lead by example, but then communicate, why everything's going to be okay, what your vision is, and how, and do that in a clear, in a open way, a transparent way, and be very clear with your teams about, what's going on, how it's going to affect them, how we're going to navigate this together. And that's going to give them confidence in you and in the future. And the future, it's all about, and I think it's really important to be optimistic. If you are somebody who is naturally, which I am, optimistic, that helps, because you believe that things are going to get better. You believe in a brighter future. And if you can communicate this to your teams and tell them, you know what, don't worry, it's tough now. It's not about, pretending everything's fine when it's not, but it's about saying, okay, it's chaos. This is what's going on. There are problems. These are the ways we're going to address them. And this is how we're going to get out on the other side. And don't worry, everything's going to be okay. And if there are things that are not okay, we'll figure them out along the way. And I think that's what resilience looks like in leadership.
Yes. So, what happens, I think in our age, we are trying to, what a natural leader or a natural communicator, maybe 50 years ago, there was not so much analysis on all the separate parts of his character or of his role. Nowadays, that we deep dive and we try to put tags on each parameter of his personality, resilience is one of them. But you mentioned before some words that I think I use them often when people ask me certain questions which are not so easy to answer, because they are open questions and we need to have like a common frequency in order to understand each other. So the words that you used, the one word was empathy and soft skills. Through my experience all these years, I met a variety of different people, a variety of different leaders, and a variety of salespeople. Both good leaders, such as also good salespeople, are very hard to find. And the biggest part that it's missing most of the times are those soft skills, or this, what I call empathy.
Yeah.
You need to understand the other people, be flexible, be resilient, while at the same time keep what is a contradiction to resilience, which is achieving your goals. If there's one thing that I learned during my career in sales, that is that you cannot force things to happen. It's impossible. So what many people, salespeople do, they consider that a good thing, a good way to go, a good path to follow is to push. Pushing is fine, but you need to know when to push and how much pressure you should put. So if you force a situation, it's not going to come to a nice outcome. So nothing forced can be good. There we need your resilience, which needs to be married with empathy and with a variety of different soft skills. I can say some cultures, because I met people from all around the world and any path of life and walk of life and different cultures. There are some cultures that are more have more than, let's say, more natural, are more talented in having those skills. Southern Europeans, I would say, are better than Northern Europeans, at least most of the times. Okay, I don't want to put all people in the same basket, but through my experiences, there is more human empathy, more understanding on when to push, how to push, what to say, what not to say, set the boundaries, but also be flexible. Not being flexible, it's a very stupid thing to do. But you cannot be, of course, completely loose. You cannot be there. You need to put some boundaries. You need to understand. What I say to salespeople, for example, is, I mean, we have like a manual on when they are placing calls, how many calls they should place. And I say, I mean, that can vary depending on the project, I say 5 calls. But I always say, you should follow your heart. You can feel if somebody is trying to avoid you, or if somebody has a genuine reason not to be able to book an appointment with you. So you need to have the feeling. So you call somebody, he's driving his car, he had a hard day. Don't be too pushy. You need to, but there is no, it's not mathematics. It's not
intuition. Feeling.
Exactly, the intuition. And that is also something that I say also to my son, which is younger. I'm obviously a guy that I like maths, I like facts, I like all these kind of things. But I say, no, go, because my son, he's a rebel and he doesn't like to do poetry and he doesn't to do all this linguistic that he does. Say, no, it's important. It's very important.
Yeah.
Because you get things inside you that are deeper than calculating numbers. It's an important skill to have these skills, to try to educate yourself in things that you are not good. That's how you're going to become a better person. I think I'm getting sometimes too much deep and intellectual, and I have the feeling sometimes people are thinking, well, Alex is not completely stable, so he's a little bit. But I mean, yes, I'm honest. It's not easy to describe resilience, okay?
Yeah.
But it needs to be. You need to be resilient, but with measure.
Yeah.
And you need to have a broader understanding.
I think what you were talking about is perseverance, right? Because in sales, you have to be someone who's not going to be discouraged when people hang up on you, that you're going to continue, if you have difficult clients, it's not going to put you down. Someone, being very perseverant. Oh, wow. And also, you were talking about being empathetic, but it's also problem-solving skills, in fact, because people will come to you with different answers, different problems. You need to listen and then maybe adapt. Again, we're talking about adapting to the situation and figuring out how to, whether it's concerns or objections they may have on whatever product you're trying to sell them. It's being able to adapt to that and solve whatever problem or objection they come up with. So I think, yes, it's
objection is another topic that is very interesting, and where resilience is very important.
To not feel rejected personally, not feeling that people are rejecting you personally. I think anybody who's done sales calls knows how hard it is, and it's like being able to not take it personally and just continue. That's resilience, right? It's being able to, let's persevere and not forget about what the objective is.
And the empathy because what you say, don't take it personally, and try to understand people and situations, and not everybody that is nice is really nice, and not everybody that is maybe not that nice is not nice. So my best friends and best clients were initially people where we had a confrontation. There was some a conflict between
fractions.
us, but
there was a bit of frictions, not fractions.
Yes.
Frictions.
Yes, and the worst for me, the worst are the ones that they you can never tell. They are always in somehow gray nice zone where he's nice, but he never. You can feel he's not really nice. But you don't know what to do. So need human experience, right? And I think that is on what we do, because lately, the last months, and I think you too, we are receiving all these emails, AI generated sales. No, I'm sorry, I don't believe on AI generated sales. I might be naive, but I don't think, at least at this stage, that like a robot can replace my pitch or me writing an email. I cannot imagine it's possible.
Well, the day that happens, you'll need to be resilient.
Exactly. The day that happens, I mean, you can never know, but it's there is more than just algorithms.
No, absolutely. I read a really good book, which I recommend, which is Grit. By Angela Duckworth, which is a great book talks about resilience also, and she made a great TED talk also. Double check it. Angela Duckworth, Grit. She has a good TED talk. That's how I discovered her, and I just read her book. It's a New York Times bestseller, and I recommend that. It's really interesting, and she's a researcher, so. It's based in science.
I see you sharing books on LinkedIn, and I always make a note, because I have a wish list of books that I want to buy.
Mine is never ending. Not enough time, so many books.
But I'm currently reading 5 different books, which I don't manage to read that many books, so I don't want to just buy them and just pile them in there.
I found I used to do that also. I would read a few. Well, I'm always reading one series, what I call serious book, and one maybe recreational book. So something that's like a thriller or novel or something. Those I read before sleep, because I don't want to fill my mind with work before I go to bed. So the recreational stuff is before bed. But I've given up trying to read 2 or 3 of these books at the same time, because I realize that it's not effective. I mean, what you need to do, already just reading one book is not enough. What you need to do is read the book, take what you've learned out of it, and apply it straight away to actually learn whatever you've just learned. Otherwise, you just read the book, you go on to the next one, and you forget about it. So I've stopped trying to read a few. I do one. I try and learn a few. Take a few key things out of each one of them and try to apply them and use them to improve, to get better.
And do you listen to books? Do you listen to audiobooks?
So I did that for a moment, but I find like what I found myself doing is I'd listen to the book, and if I really liked it, I'd then buy it and read it. So I
Yes.
felt like, I don't know, I feel there might be some books that are good to listen to and some that are good to read. But I like being able to put little clicks and write in them, like make notes, and
Yes.
so
Yes.
so I think if it's a book that I really want to, spend some
Well,
time on, and I'd like to be able to write in it.
I take many audiobooks because they are accompany when I'm going to run or I go to the gym, so I listen to audiobooks.
Yeah.
From the other side, I have to say that what happens, we constantly stimulate our
Brain.
our brain, and that is not good because the
Yeah.
brain needs also to relax. So to have moments of peace
is good.
and silence is also important, and not constantly
I was
have a stimulation.
I was listening to a podcast this morning when I go out on early walks, and when it ended, I was going to put on another one. Then I thought, you know what? No, I need a bit of silence and just a moment to get my thoughts clear. But it's true, we forget about that. I was thinking this morning, I need to actually schedule time, which is very sad, I feel, but I need to schedule time to think, time where I'm not going to be distracted, where my phone's not there, my computer's not there, that there's nobody speaking to me, or there's no distraction, where I can be in my bubble and, just take a piece of paper and a pencil and write things down.
Yes, Maria, I agree with you totally. It's not, it's a matter of the results count, and it's not a matter of quantity, but it's a matter of quality of your work, of your reading, of whatever it is. And I think in this new, I was, who said that? It was, I think it was Elon Musk or some very famous person, that he said that he notices that today's people are very hard for them to concentrate on reading a book.
Yeah.
Because of the constant scrolling on social media. So it trains your mind.
Yeah. For instant gratification. Yeah.
Instant gratification and an immense amount of information in a very, let's say,
condensed time.
Condensed and entertaining. So you see videos, you see colors, you listen to music, and then you just like swipe up, and then you have another fantastic video with another, and then sitting down and reading a book.
Yeah,
it's a challenge.
Yeah,
I consider that as I see that as a threat. As a threat, because we need also to concentrate. We need to read books. Reading books is a sort of meditation. It's not only the information that we get from the book.
I think that goes back to, we're going back to resilience. The resilience is being able to manage all these things and figuring a way to find something that works for you, right?
And let me also add, because you said before about the total chaos in a business, and the manager needs to keep the face, and so the chaos, it's a state of your mind. If you focus on what is now and don't drone on your future thoughts of what's going to happen, you don't know what's going to happen. The future doesn't exist.
Yeah.
What exists is now. So concentrate on now, relax, and what's going to happen is going to happen. So
focus on what you can control, basically. It's
focus in what you can control, and relax about what you cannot control, because you cannot control it anyway. The chaos is in your mind. It's not in reality. In reality exists what is exactly at this moment. That is what exists. Yes. So things are more complex than they look like. I want to, as a final statement, because we do this together since since some months, I want to conclude on a call to action that I would like our viewers to take an action and do something. And what I want our viewers to do today, and that it's something that regards my business, next time it's going to be your turn, Maria. If you are watching that on LinkedIn, on the comments below what you are watching now, there is a link to my YouTube channel. Be so nice, please. My YouTube channel has 154 subscribers. Be so nice and subscribe on my YouTube channel.
Get them to 200.
Yes, we want to. I need to have an audience in order to. That's why I created also this nice background, because I intend to generate many videos. I want to be myself. I want to say things the way I see them, and I hope these videos are going to add value.
What are you going to be talking about, Alex? What tell your audience what are they going to get out of your videos?
What they are going to get out of my videos is the real picture of the world, and not the one that they show you that it is. Okay, so to give you an example, there's the tendency in these big corporations that everybody's happy, everybody shares, they do similar common activities, they are a family, and happy faces and smileys and kisses. In my world, reality doesn't look like that. My experience in big corporations were envy, backstabbings, diplomacy, control, authority, bad and good leadership. So human mistakes, human passions, the good of human people and also the bad of human people. Now trying to show a picture of, we work in XYZ corporation, and here everybody is a family, and we go for paintball once per month, and we are brothers and sisters. That is bullshit, simply. So yes, I think there are a lot of people that think similarly as me, because if you don't see the reality, if you don't see what is behind the facade, behind the curtain, you will not be able to take the proper and correct decisions. You can take the proper decisions if you identify the root of the problem, if you can see reality in the eye, and not deny reality. The denial of reality is the cause of many things and many careers and many lives and many choices went bad, went wrong. So that's an example. So that is the intention of this channel. Obviously, it wants to promote my sales activities, but it's not going to be strictly sales, but talk more about human interactions, human relations, and the way I think I perceive reality, okay, which is again an objective. It's a subjective reality, because it's your
perception, right?
It's my perception. Exactly. But I might be wrong in some things. But I think deep down I'm in the right path.
Yeah, I'll argue that I think there is a lot of new companies coming up with a different approach to work and a different approach to leadership and business and how they treat their employees. So I'm also a glass half full, you're a glass half empty. So I think that's where we meet. But so I want to believe that, there are a lot of bad stuff out there, but there are a lot of people that are trying to change things and make things better. And you can see that there's some people leading the way in a very positive way. So I want to believe that things are getting better, and there's hope at the end.
Absolutely, there's hope at the end. But there is also a lot of opportunists that they try to sell something that they don't really know. So I have my points of view. I want to share them publicly. I want to say the things with their name. And I know I will not be likable from everybody. That's not my intent. But I will be me. I stand for certain things, and that's it.
Good. You do you.
I do me, exactly. Fantastic. So thank you, Maria, for this opportunity today. You chose the topic. I think it was a very interesting topic. And
Thank you, Alex.
yes, it's be resilient. Don't be like, no, be open-minded.
Exactly. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Maria.
In 2
Thank you
weeks.
very much. See you in 2 weeks again.